Hey everybody, welcome to our episode of Old Reader, New Reader. I have a very special guest tonight, and that is Jess, aka OmniDog.
Heyo.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I love your backdrop.
Thank you. If everyone can't tell, part of the reason, I had to move the show, and part of the reason I'm sitting here is because I just moved. So I don't have my usual background, and I don't have any of my comic books up.
You
I
did a lot with that background.
I should have just green screened it or something.
Yeah, you probably could have.
But soon, hopefully, I'll be actually moving my, video space to in front of some omnibuses and statues. So give me a week or two in getting that set up, and I should be back to normal. But thank everybody for still joining in, even though we moved things. So tonight is Gail Simone's Wonder Woman run. So this was actually a Patreon vote. Yeah, I have mine here, but I'm using it to prop up my laptop on the table.
Oh, well, okay. Then I'm happy to show it.
Thank you.
That's the best.
I'm slumming it. Oh yeah, I hadn't even had a chance to take the dust jacket off. So I'm gonna see what it look like under there. Man, I love this. Also, if people at home, even if you weren't able to catch the omnibus of this, you can read this all on DC Universe, which I do highly recommend because the amount of stuff you can get on that website for a pretty low subscription price. I think it's like $7 a month or something. You can read all of this and like a ton of other back catalog of DC comics. And that's I read half and half. I did partly digital and partly in print based on when I was working. And if you're watching me, you know me from work. 1, how did you find me? 2, don't tattle on me. Don't tell anybody I was reading Wonder Woman during working hours. Yeah, so patrons had a pick. They could choose Wonder Woman, Secret Six, or Birds of Prey, and they voted for this one. And I'm not disappointed because I love Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And it's actually my first time reading this.
Oh, you're the new reader?
Yeah, I'm the new reader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because even though I'm a huge Wonder Woman fan, I remember since I first started getting into comic books, everyone's like, "Oh, Gail Simone's run is great if you can get your hands on it." Basically, is what everyone told me. Because it was out of print, like all of the individual hardcovers and trades, like I had no access. And now this beautiful omnibus is out. You can read on DC Universe. It's all pretty great. So yeah, I guess we can dig in. Now, normally at Old Reader, New Reader, we start off with a short to long summary of the book. Now, this omnibus is so meaty. I could not begin to even give you a summary of this. So we'll say it's a collection of wonderful Wonder Woman stories. Now, in this telling of Wonder Woman, she actually has like a what's the word? Like a secret identity. I say secret. Yeah. Where she's Diana Prince, an agent of this organization in her downtime, which she started doing, I guess, because after she killed Maxwell Lord, right? She wasn't Wonder Woman, and Donna Troy was. So she was kind of like spending her days as Agent Diana Prince, which I mean, a lot of people saw through that. It's kind of hard to miss this tall, beautiful,
Diana Prince,
strong Amazonian woman.
Princess Diana.
Right. I think I don't know why she thought anybody wasn't going to be able to catch that.
Yeah. This, I don't know if you want to highlight me and the art. Yeah, the art. The first few issues are Terry Dodson and his wife, shoot, blocking on her name already.
Mrs. Dodson.
Mrs.
That feels awful to say.
Rachel Dodson. And this art is throughout the book. I think the art is fantastic.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it really is. She is strong, feminine, but fierce, and the art does a really good job of conveying her absolutely taking no shit from anybody, but she will try to negotiate first, but she won't hesitate to kick your butt down the stairs. But she'll ask you, you're welcome back to the sisterhood. You're welcome back to America. Let's talk about this. And if they say no, then she just goes absolutely primeval on you. And the amount of powerful bad guys she has to go up against in this is really amazing.
It was great. Like I felt like, and I heard so many great things about this run before reading it. And I've read a lot of different Wonder Woman series, but the combination of Gail's writing and Terry's art, both of the Dodson's art, and as well as like later artists that they have throughout here, it was just it's the perfect combination. Like she looks exactly how I think she should look.
Yeah,
she's beautiful and she's tall and she's muscular and just a badass, and she's framed so well in here. Like you can tell that Gail really has such a good handle on how Diana should be, how Wonder Woman should be. Because she is just like, I liked how you talked about she just kicks ass in this book. She's such a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes people lean towards the more superhero aspect of Diana because they tend to do so with other Justice League characters, right? Than the warrior aspect of her. And I really felt like you're reading a story about a warrior first, a warrior with a creed first. It almost felt like reading like Red Sonja.
Yeah.
Which, granted, Gail Simone's Red Sonja as well. But she's got such a good eye on her. And you're right about the villains. Like, I was really pleased with the wide variety because a few of the Wonder Woman runs I've read have been Greg Rucka, the New 52 run of Wonder Woman. I've read Rebirth Wonder Woman, which I felt like relied very heavily on a lot of more of the Greek gods, Olympus, which is great. I do really enjoy those, and they do touch on that here.
Yeah.
Right? But man, getting to see Circe and Cheetah and Giganta, but like I feel like they were really developed better in here.
She's having brunch with Giganta. It's great.
I loved.
I know, that was such a great touch.
Like I felt so in love with all of these villains because I'd heard about them, but I really think like Gail killed it with these guys.
Yeah, and this Genocide, which was like, I guess, her Doomsday version, her version of Doomsday. This is a extremely tough villain.
I'll highlight you again so they can see Genocide.
Yeah, this is Genocide after multiple beatings because her faceplate, which looks like the Batman who laughs with the spikes over the eyes, she's beaten that off of her face. She's basically unkillable and has been created as a killing machine, and
she's terrifying.
Yeah, she really is.
Man, I loved her because I that's when I want them to bring back. I think Genocide is really cool because to see like how she broke Diana.
Yeah.
In a way that I haven't seen before. Because, Diana is always just so fierce. And we see her get beaten, but she never lets it get to her. Like she's, and you see that with a lot of superheroes, of course. But I feel like, oh, Taylor. Sorry, sorry, Taylor. I should have called you up too.
Oops. Hey, this isn't my show. I was
Sorry,
just
Taylor.
invited.
This is me panicking, be like, Jess, will you join my show? I don't think anybody else is gonna read this book with me. Um, but yeah, like, man, to see she broke her completely. She had no will in her life. Like, her lasso was taken from her, in
Yeah.
which we learned that the lasso could do a lot more. And it was brutal. The fact that Gail gave us this most brutal situation, which I don't feel like maybe people don't feel comfortable doing with Wonder Woman because of her character, but like she saw genocide, murder a woman with the lasso right in front of her. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, and
It's
Genocide
incredible.
had the lasso weaved in and out of her body, um, like stitches, or and then that's actually this picture of her, is her yanking it out of her body right here, because it had been weaved into Genocide's body,
So
making her basically unstoppable. And that's so freaking badass that Wonder Woman just ripped it out. But I will say, there on was the second time I read it. The first time was when we did the first Wonder Woman show with you and me, and that Taylor guy.
yeah, that
But
Taylor guy.
yeah, that Taylor guy. The second time I picked up on it was, there's a lot of back and forth between her and Themyscira.
Mhm.
She is going back and forth, and the situation is constantly changing. I did notice that this time, like, she's persona non grata. Oh, welcome back. Nobody's here. Nazis are here. Now it's just the four protectors of Hippolyta, rather, who's here. And there was a lot of back and forth it wasn't confusing, but I just noticed there was an awful lot of travel going on to Themyscira.
Yeah, and I will say that there are like, because Jess and I were talking before the show, where like, Jess read this 2 months ago, and he's like, "Oh, I'll just skim through," and he's like, "Well, I don't remember enough to do that." And I just read this within the past couple of days, a lot of it today, on brand. And I was like, "Wait, what happened? What happened in this book?" Because there's a lot. Like, we when we get to the stuff with genocide, while the genocide stuff's going on, a little bit after, we get more with like what's going on with Olympus and Zeus, and I was like, "What? I don't. What time period?" I was like, "Is this happening at the same time?" I got really
Yeah.
confused because there's a lot of pieces that Gail puts in front of us at the same time, which isn't a bad thing.
No, you're right. There is a lot to keep track of. There are certain constants throughout the book, like the um, warrior uh,
Mhm.
four warrior women who have sworn to protect with their lives Hippolyta, and consider Diana a mistake and a
Yeah.
abomination, and that sets up tension that's throughout the book. That's the one constant, I think, throughout the book.
Yeah, and let's talk about them more because there's a few reasons why they're interesting, right? Because they were there before Diana was born, and they're like, we are gonna protect Hippolyta forever. That's our goal. She chose us for. They all sleep outside of her chamber separately. Um, and then when Hippolyta is talking about getting or having a child, they're like, "Wait, what? You can't do that." And their reasoning was really interesting. I feel like Gail wrote this really well because it wasn't just like, "Okay, why are you having a child and not choosing us?" Although that's kind of there's a jealousy there, but it's also,
Yeah,
"Oh no, we all feel that want to be able to like have children, but we can't." And so we do things like we carve babies, right? Statues, or we mourn that loss that we can't have that. But you're going to, and we just have to see you have that and we don't get to. And so there's that part of it too, which was really interesting, especially coming from, you see a lot of that with the head girl of the four, the bald one, whose name I'm never gonna remember.
Alcyon.
Thank you.
Alcyon.
And she's like, she I'm glad that they chose her to have that narrative because she's so like masculine presenting, you know? She's bald, she's tough, she's like the leader of the four, she's the most antagonistic of them, and yet she's the one that's like, you know, well, this is kind of bullshit. I want to have a baby too.
Yeah.
And then when they see Diana too, it's like, I love this whole like, we're gonna kill Diana tonight, let's go. And they see Diana as this baby, and they're like, oh, we can't. She's so beautiful.
And
We
the
can't
whole
kill
and
her.
the whole island feels that way about her. Like this is the island's daughter now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean they still especially Alcyon, I'll just say Alcyon, but she never loses the hatred for who she considers the dragon, or the demon, and we even get
Hey,
thank you.
I'm not even trying. So Jess is the real winner of this.
Yeah, I'd like to see Omar tackle it. Um, shoot, I forgot what I was saying. She becomes the daughter of them, and Alcyon is the only one who keeps that hatred going, for Diana, and Diana even negotiates. This was way out there. I was like, I've never even heard of this person before, but it's basically Wonder Woman's aunt and cousin from, of course, we're towards the end of the book now. Her aunt and her cousin come back, and this is a sort of doomsday creation of, this is her cousin who has been, this was really kind of a vile part of the book, how she was created, thrown into a chamber of women or babies or toddlers, and the one, who survives by eating the others and killing the others, that's how she's raised, is just to be nothing but a killing machine, like Doomsday was. And that's who she ends up having to fight in this other space battle. And even then she tries to negotiate, and say, this doesn't have to be, we're cousins. And
go back and forth.
Okay. This doesn't have to be, we're cousins, and you can be rehabilitated. And I found that part really fascinating, that even the women who had, here's another word, Astarte, that's her aunt, her aunt, even the women under her that have been warriors in outer space, dominating planets and consuming them and then moving on, Wonder Woman even gets under their skin to turn against their captain that they've known for 3,000 years. She's such a strong, loving presence that wants fairness, but as we said earlier, follows up that fairness from a position of strength, because she will totally punch you through a wall if you don't stand down.
Which, Gail really does, like, she does a good job towing that line throughout this book with Diana, because there's a lot of instances, especially when she talks to us, like when we get introduced to Stalker, right, where she's towing that line between just like full on brutality and killing, and then the whole like, wait, no, there's a reason why I'm different. And same with Genocide, same with other characters that kind of mirror her in a way throughout this book, where she's like, wait, there's a reason why I'm better than this. I don't have to do this at the end, which is very Diana, but it's perfect coming off of, what precedes this, where she kills Maxwell Lord, and she's, everyone sees her as this, like, totally, uh, this warrior woman devoid of morality compared to the rest of the Justice League.
Right. Even
But
even
I
though it
love
totally needed to be done.
Yeah, and she gets close a lot of times in this book. She'll
Yeah.
say things like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill this guy,"
Yeah.
and then she ultimately doesn't, but I like seeing I think she's an interesting character to follow because unlike Superman and Batman, the option to kill someone's still on her mind as a possibility.
Yeah.
Like, well, if I gotta, I will.
Yeah. And
Um,
I loved my favorite part of the book, and I don't know how you felt about it, but I'm pretty sure you probably felt the same way.
are you gonna talk about her and Black Canary and the outfits?
That that was my second favorite part of the book because that also shows what a good sense of humor Gail Simone has.
Oh, so good.
I thought they're donning those costumes and going to wherever they went, Hong Kong or
Tokyo.
Tokyo. Okay, um, that was a great part of the book, but I want a whole mini series on the Gorilla City gorillas.
Oh, were they not just wonderful?
Everything they said was hilarious, like super dry, funny, hilarious, and they were totally her posse and backup
Yeah.
squad. And I would love a mini series of
Oh,
those guys.
absolutely. Because, like, in this book, she didn't really have, like, a posse. Because, like, in Greg Rucka's run, she had everybody that was at the, embassy with her.
Yeah,
And what a better style to have these gorillas living in our house.
I know.
Like, when she first brings Tom over, who's, like, her love interest of the book, which confused me at first because I was like, "Wait a second, where's Steve?"
Yeah,
Married to Etta. But and she's like, "Well, I'll show you my apartment," and all the gorillas, like, hide themselves so she can show you the apartment. It's the little things.
yeah. And then when they come to accept him, they start picking his hair. The gorillas start
Yeah.
picking
They go to
meat out of
meetings
his hair.
with her, like, the meeting at the I guess, like, the film studio or
Oh
whatever,
yeah,
where she's like, "Wow, what distinguished, guest you have." And he's like, "Yeah, I've heard we're quite handsome." It's just cute.
he said, I'd like to revisit the fruit plate part of the negotiations."
There's a few comments I wanna get to, but,
Okay.
uh, Jessica said, "I've never enjoyed anything related to Grodd or Gorilla City except this run. I laughed out multiple times."
Yeah.
Um, there's a good question, or there's a few little things. Hayden said, "I've been waiting to know what Maddie thought of Diana, Donna, and Cassie and all matching armor since this Omni came out." This book is full of great Donna moments, so I was
Hmm.
very pleased because if anyone's been watching me enough to know, I love Donna Troy. I have,
Hmm.
like, 5 cosplays of her, and, oh my gosh, the matching armor was really cool. I've seen pictures, of, like, Wonder Woman's, I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool, I guess," but to see them all together was really, really cool. I
Yeah.
like
There
that.
was a lot of good Donna Troy in this, and not as much Cassie, but there was a lot of really cool Donna Troy moments.
And there's a good, after she fought, Genocide for the first time, Donna and Cassie are seeing this, and Donna calls Cassie. It's like, "Hey, you need to get your butt over here." And Cassie's so upset. She's like, "No," and Donna says, "No, you're you wear the Amazon symbol. Act like it. We don't get to mourn until the job is done." I was like, "Oh, that's so cool. That's so
Yeah.
cool." Ugh. Um, and Jess got a good question too. I feel like every writer slash era has a vastly different take on Etta. How do you feel about Simone's Etta?
That's a good observation. Um, because what was the? Now I'm trying to think. What we talked about the Wonder Woman book where Etta, it was back in the 40s, and Etta was a singer with a group. I'm trying to think of what book that was. We talked about it when you and I and Taylor did the show. Etta was um, part of a 40s like big band singing group, and she was a little heavy set then. And in this book, she was slimmer and like a secret agent that was married to Steve Trevor. Very different than where we saw her back in the 40s. Now I'm trying to think of what run that was that we talked about, where she was.
Yeah, I'm not
Maybe that was
sure.
maybe that was the Legend one.
Oh, that might be it.
Yeah. There have been so many. Yes, but that's a good observation by Jessica, because there have been an awful lot of incarnations of Etta, and I'd say this is probably the strongest one, where she's capable of defending herself. She still gets her ass kicked in the filmmaking.
Oh, yeah.
The woman that, now I wasn't familiar with this character. This character,
Oh, she was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't familiar with her. This is the first time I ever read about her.
Yeah, I haven't heard about her before, because when I saw her, I thought it was Cersei again.
Yeah.
Because they have a similar coloring. Loved her.
Right. And then when Cheetah finally takes over the building, I think that's when they capture Etta and they torture her.
Which is rough. They
Yeah.
tie her up and say,
Yeah.
"Oh, she was fun," you know.
Yeah, right. Genocide said that, right? Exactly.
Yeah. So Paul Baker, it wasn't Earth One, but I really like Earth One Etta. I really like her in that one. But I love Wonder Woman Earth One.
I like that one too.
Yeah, I love the art. I think Wonder Woman's beautiful in it, and I think Etta's really cool. I like their relationship in it. Isn't Etta kind of into her in that one? I feel like she kind of flirted with her in that, which I was about.
Was that in the second volume? I feel like that was in the second.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I really like that Etta. Because I liked this Etta a lot. I liked that she was in charge. The setting kind of felt like maybe Jessica can relate and Hayden can.
This is where she was sort of.
Yes, she's so cute. I love her.
Yeah.
I mean, I like this Etta. It reminded me of the season of Buffy when Buffy worked with like a secret government organization or whatever. It reminded me of that. But I like Etta when she's sassier personally, because I always feel like Diana needs more sarcasm.
Yeah.
In her life. And I didn't feel like, and maybe I just missed it because I was reading quickly, but I didn't feel like they laid as heavy on that with Etta this time. Because Etta was more in charge. I mean, she's still funny. She was still written funny, but they didn't go as sassy in this one.
Right.
But I still liked her. Earth One Etta is a sitcom character, and it's amazing. Yeah, Jesse, I think that's the kind that I like.
Yeah.
And like in the movie, I like that Etta. She's just kind of she's smart, but she's the kind of smart where you meet her and she's kind of bubbly and sarcastic, so you don't think that she's intelligent as she is. And that's such a good companion to Diana, who really comes off as regal and smart and intelligent, but she can be a little behind when it comes to like the street smarts. Right?
Yeah.
Whose art did y'all enjoy the most in this omnibus? Oops. Hi, Matthew.
Oh, actually, Marcelo just said that she's in the Harley Quinn show, the one with the book. So it's Queen of Fables. Okay.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot more sense now.
Now I understand who she is. Okay. I liked all the art. All the art was I thought was really good, considering how many different artists there were in it. But I'm going to have to go with Terry Dodson and Donna Dodson. This is not Terry and Donna Dodson, and it's still awesome. This is towards the end of the book with Etta, after she had gotten whipped up by Genocide, and this is still great art.
Yeah, it's incredible how consistent, like,
Yeah.
there's only a few different artists in here, but they are all so good, which makes it difficult to choose, but I agree, like, I really liked Terry Dodson. Well, that's a mouthful. I like their art the most,
Yeah.
which is hard because you have Nicholas Scott in here, who also returns later with Rebirth to do Wonder Woman, and, she's incredible. We all
Sh-
know that.
She can do no wrong in
Oh,
my
yeah, and
eyes.
she's to me, she's meant to draw Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And even with that, I love Dodson's art. I'm like, "That's Wonder Woman to me." And I have, like, a giant canvas print of one of the issue covers from this series, and
Oh, you do?
it's a Dodson one, and it's downstairs. Like, I think somebody picked it up for me, like, at a Hobby Lobby randomly, but it's beautiful. I'm like, "That to me, that's Wonder Woman." She's
Yeah.
curvy, and she's strong, and she's beautiful. But I don't think there's something to it I don't think I can describe that they just do really well.
Yeah. I think Bernard Chang and Aaron
Oh,
Lopresti
I
are
love Lopresti's art too. I
they're
really
the other
liked him.
major artists. And they all sort of have a similar style, but it's not the same. You can tell the difference, but it flows really well. Like there's not,
Absolutely.
this kind of gets me in, and it's hard to avoid in an omnibus of this size where you have three or four artists
Mhm.
where somebody's style is going to be way different than another's and it can pull you out of the story. But to me, that wasn't an issue in this. It was all uniformly the same kind of style and really well done. And it just flowed really well and I didn't get pulled out of it. It's
Yeah.
not like we went from Neil Adams to Jeff Lemire back to Neil
Yeah.
Adams or something. It was all the same style and it was really nice. I loved it
Oh,
all.
absolutely. I think that's one of the best, like, the biggest strengths of this whole omnibus is that it feels consistent regardless of the artist, and it just feels really oh, yeah, I guess I won't say consistent again, but it just the narr it all combines so well.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with this because, yeah, you're right, like, a lot of omnibuses, a lot of, like, ongoing stories don't do as well with that, and it can be so jarring when you're reading an omnibus and you're like, "Whoa,"
Yeah.
or halfway through you get an artist that you don't really like as much, and you're like, "Ah,
Yeah. You're going to get
man."
that especially with a crossover Omni or something.
Yeah.
An event omnibus, you're going to get crushed in that because
Oh,
there's going to
yeah.
be nothing but different styles every issue. But this was really, she got um, she got to if she got to pick her artist, she did a really good job
Yeah.
at choosing who she got to work with because they really worked together well.
Oh, compliments are so well. Oh, man, I got a question earlier. Where is it? About whether I liked yeah, Joe Chip asked if I liked, this Gail Simone's Wonder Woman or her Red Sonja more, and, I don't think it's fair to choose one over the other.
I just this week got this.
Oh, you just got it? Oh,
I
man.
It's the year anniversary of my ordering the signed copy.
Oh.
I finally wrote to Emily at IST because she I guess knows the people at Tales of Wonder or something. I don't know what her relationship is, but she had emailed me back and forth through the past year saying I'm still working on this for you. And I said, it's been a year. Let's just cancel it, get a refund, whatever. And she found me a copy of the book because this thing's out of print now.
Yeah.
Sure. And she found me a copy of this, and I am so
Oh, it's
excited to be able to read it finally.
beautiful.
And
It is
I will just get Gail Simone's autograph at a convention
that's
when.
what I did because
Yeah.
mine didn't come with yeah, I was in the same lot, so mine didn't come with a signature, but I was lucky that, the last convention of 2020, basically, C2E2, she was at.
Oh, so you got her to
So
sign it?
yeah,
Oh, cool.
and she was lovely, and I talked to her for a long time, and her husband said I look like Donna Troy, and she agreed.
Oh my gosh. Could you get any better life
I
moment for
know,
you?
I know. I was so happy.
Were you there as Donna Troy?
No,
Oh,
I didn't dress up that weekend.
no.
I just hung out. So I was very pleased.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, I just, fawned all over her. I was like, "I love you. So I love you so much." Um, oh yeah, that's huge news. So when they announced that, I think like in the past week, I've had so many different friends and acquaintances send me two different news. One, the new Wonder Woman series on CW about the newest Wonder Woman, right? The South American one. Everyone sent me that.
Oh, right. Okay.
Second thing was about Wonder Woman 1984 coming to HBO Max on Christmas Day.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to start subscribing to HBO Max just so I can see this movie.
I mean, there's a lot of good stuff on there. You should anyways.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah. You've got to watch Lovecraft Country.
I have been.
Okay. Oh.
But I wouldn't mind doing it legally now.
That show's worth it.
Yeah, that show is really cool.
It's so good. I'm glad you watched it. I've been trying to tell people since it started. I was just like every week on any live show, I'm like, you guys watch Lovecraft Country?
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to start up on that because I've heard there's some other shows on there too.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know. Well, I'm asking for I think Christmas the DVD for Harley Quinn. I want and I'd like both those seasons.
Oh, so good. I think you're the only other person I know besides my husband that likes that show is like the way that I like that show.
Harley Quinn?
Yeah, I love that show. It's so good.
It's the greatest ever.
Like
I love it.
They did such a good job because, if you don't read the comics, you're going to like it. If you do read the comics, you're definitely going to like it because they give you everything.
Yeah.
And all the characters are so fun.
Oh, Lake Bell is so good as Poison Ivy.
I was really surprised by the casting for everyone. I was like, oh, okay. We'll see. Honestly, I'm so pleased. I love all those characters.
Yeah. I love every one of them. I love that show. And I'm so happy it got a third season.
Me too. It deserves it.
Yeah.
It might be the best DC show. It's just really good.
I haven't seen enough to disagree with you. I still have to see Doom Patrol and Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen Swamp Thing.
But I'm probably gonna always say Harley Quinn's the best because I love her and I love that show. Yeah. It's hilarious.
It's such a great representation of her. Like,
yeah. I love that she just outright kills the Penguin.
Besides my husband, name drop. He was in the chat earlier asking.
He was asking if you wanted to get pizza.
And I didn't respond. Did you buy pizza? Did you order pizza though? Okay. I mean, I'll eat some pizza. Sorry guys, that was my quick during the show talk to. Usually I'm the one on the chat. I'm like, Elliot, are you watching? I'm hungry. You guys, Elliot's going to be on the show on Tuesday.
What's he reading?
We are reading the Critical Role comic book.
I don't know that one.
Okay, so it's published by Dark Horse. It's a prequel comic to the D&D podcast called Critical Role. And it's actually really good. The art's really good. It's fantasy. So you're dealing with the usual Dungeons and Dragons deal. And I really, really enjoyed it. I was surprised. Usually comic books based on a show or a video game or a podcast, you never know what you're going to get from those. But I was really surprised. So yeah, on Tuesday, Elliot's going to be on the show. Amanda will be here, and so will Kristen and Reed. So it's going to be a full house talking about.
Oh, nice.
Critical Role, yeah. So I'm excited. Are we TMNT? I'll just talk about pizza. We are not. Although, eventually we need to do that on Old Reader, New Reader, because I heard those are books.
Those books are so good.
Yeah.
The IDW books are so good.
Everyone says that. I think there's a few series of books I always hear about that I've heard are really good but I haven't read that I think I want to do on here. And one is TMNT, the other's Transformers, and then Power Rangers.
I've read Power Rangers, the first three. They're good. I haven't read the follow-up yet. I did get it. And Transformers just wasn't my cup of tea. I tried.
Yeah.
Rick Nelson was nice enough to send me a copy of the book, and I tried, but it just didn't hit with me. I appreciated that he tried. But of those three, I think TMNT is the strongest. I think really it.
I believe you.
Right, especially after volume 4, like volume 5 and 6, it gets crazy good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now that I have a house soon, the buying ban will be over. Not too soon, but soon enough I'll be able to buy things again. So maybe I'll pick that up. We had a few comments that were surprised that you and I were together because they said they've never seen us together. And I was like, Jess and I know each other.
We do. I have Maddie's phone number in my phone.
Yeah, look at that. Don't share that with them. No, Jess and I know each other. We've done some shows together.
We almost met. I think in January of last year. I was sick or something.
I don't remember. Yeah.
You were up for. I think it's when you got engaged.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or last year, this year? I don't remember.
Was that January of last year, 2019?
Maybe. I don't know. Time doesn't exist.
Right.
Elliot, I'm gonna get that phone number from you.
It's right here, buddy.
Lord. So normally this is the time we talk about our rating of the book. Although I'm sure we can talk more about the book, but
yeah.
What would you rate this out of 10?
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Well, if Omar was on the show, oh, cool. I just turned to this.
Oh, it's the best. It's so cool. I want to cosplay that Donna Troy so bad.
Look at these outfits and the gorillas. It's like, this is the splash page of the year.
Man, that's like a dream cosplay group right there.
Yeah, I can see why that is.
Man.
The only problem, I'll give it a 9 out of 10, and the only reason it doesn't get a 10 out of 10 is I felt like the situation on the island seemed to be so fluid that in terms of this book, I had a hard time almost figuring out what was going on the island, because she was going back and forth all the time, and the situation changed almost every issue. Like, gotta go home and save mom. Mom's dead. Gotta go home and take over the island. Nazis are on the island. Gotta go home and save the Nazis from the island. So that's probably my only gripe. So I'll give it a 9.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think for the same reason, because I loved this. I thought it was wonderful. I think it's a perfect portrayal of Wonder Woman. I found myself getting a little lost in the middle and towards the end, because there's a lot of different things that are going on with characters I didn't really recognize. It was a little hard for me to follow. But besides that, I still think this was an absolutely fantastic Wonder Woman run. Art is perfect. Portrayal of characters is perfect. I was really, really pleased. I mean, it's Gail.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave her Red Sonja a 10 out of 10, so that probably is me choosing one over the other, but...
I have to read that next now that I own it.
Oh, man, if you want to do a show about it, I'll read it again and again.
Ooh,
anytime.
That sounds good. I'm happy to do a show about that.
Gail Simone's Red Sonja is what got me into Red Sonja. And,
I wonder how maybe we could do it with I wonder who we do it with. Well, I guess just the two of us could do it on a regular show. Yeah. Okay, good. Let's try and have that be the next time you see us together chat will be when we read Red Sonja together.
I'll put the figure behind me and everything. I'll put all my Red Sonja prints around. I'll just be ready. I'll put on a
I
red
can't
wig.
move my Red Sonja. Maybe I'll try and get my chair in there,
There you
where
go.
my Red Sonja statue is.
Yeah, because you have the older Red Sonja statue.
I do, yeah.
Because you have a sideshow and I have a sideshow.
You have the newer one, right?
Yeah, the beefier one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
She thick. I've got two sideshow figures. One's of Wonder Woman and one's of Red Sonja, and they're both thick as hell.
Nice.
Because that's what I'm about. But yeah, I think I've got so many Wonder Woman prints and so many Red Sonja prints. That's basically half of the comic book room decor. Really, is two of them.
Yeah, and I have so many. The one bombshell I don't have is Wonder Woman because I didn't. Otherwise, I have a ton of Wonder Woman statues because I don't like her face. It looks like she has a Joker smile in that
Yeah,
bombshell.
I agree.
Otherwise, it was really cool, but I was like, ugh, what's going on?
Yeah, I think you and I both are particular about face sculpts, and I think that's because we have good taste.
Thank you. I agree with you.
Because
100%.
I'm very particular. Like, Omar's the type that once he buys one from a series, he'll buy all of them. I'm very like, it needs to look right. So I have like a few Wonder Woman figures, the Gotham City Garage one,
Yeah,
the
I have that
sideshow
one. Cool.
Oh God, so cool.
Yeah,
I've
it is really
got the Frank Cho Wonder Woman.
cool. Oh yeah, she's got some leg muscles in that.
She's thick.
Yeah, that is the definition of that.
Yeah. And then I've got a few like smaller ones, but I'm very particular. And Red Sonja, I haven't found a lot of statues of her that I like. Because they really do range, but that's a Dynamite problem.
Yeah.
Dynamite ladies can change their look based on who's writing and drawing it. It can be all over the place. I can either love a Dynamite girl 100% or I hate it. There's no in between. It just depends on who's doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah. Hey Jess, do you want to?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna invite you. Kristen's not here, but she'll say yes.
Do you want to do Red Sonja there, or something else?
So, Kristen and I have decided. I think it's the last Sunday of this month. If you're free at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna do an episode on DC bombshells. If you want to join us.
Oh, how could I not? Oh, there's a bombshells episode.
Yeah.
Are we talking about statues, comics, or both?
We are reading the comic. So I've never read it. Kristen's never read it. It's been requested by Jessica, and I love Jessica. So I was like, we're gonna do it.
Okay.
I'll send you the details.
Okay, good. That's the 29th?
Yeah.
Well, I love the bombshells. So I'd be happy to reread. I've read all of those, so I'm happy to reread them.
Yeah, I'm excited. Michael, do you see how Maddie and Jess interact so well together? This is a great pairing. I agree. There's a reason why Jess and I are friends.
Who are all these people trying to buy my collection? Lionheart wants to buy my Power Girl. And Michael M wants to buy my Captain Britain omnibus. I haven't said I'm selling anything. What's with you guys?
You know, they're just getting in. Oh, Marcella says Gail Simone's Wonder Woman is to me the very best I've ever read of her. Greg Rucka is close, and it probably had better potential, but the last third I didn't like because of the events. Gail Simone's is perfect. Yeah, I think I agree. I think with Rucka's, there's a definite better part of the run, right? Like, to me, nothing beats blinded Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah,
fighting Medusa. Nothing beats that for me. That is the story. I know that a lot of people go to oh gosh, the I'm going to say it wrong. Hikatea, yeah. That's a lot of people's favorite. I think mine is still her being blinded. and find Medusa. I think that's my story. I
Yeah,
love it.
that is a great story. Hecate is my favorite, but I can see why Blinded Wonder Woman is your favorite. She is so solid in that. Just to be
So
blinded and still not afraid.
yeah, like and just she just still kicks ass. Oh, I love her so much. During the show's getting me excited again. Like Wonder Woman's part of the reason I fell in love with comic books because the movie came out and
Mm.
I immediately got obsessed, which is why I'm so cautious about the new movie because I don't want to get my hopes up. So I'm trying to
Oh,
be really chill about it.
I'm pretty excited about it, but I get what you're saying.
Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch it day one and put all my Wonder Woman clothing on, all of my themed clothing, 'cause I have a ton of
awesome.
shirts or pants or like I think I've got a Snuggie that's Wonder Woman. Like I just got a ton.
That is awesome.
Oh, Clarknado. Does
That's a
blind
good
Wonder
question.
Woman beat Daredevil? I
Yeah,
mean,
that is.
I, that's a question.
Yeah, I think so because I think Wonder Woman can stand toe to toe with Superman.
Oh,
Um,
agreed.
so I also realize that this is comic books are not real life. I understand that. I'm just saying we are,
Yeah.
we're even though I'm in the basement, it's not my mom's house. It's a house I own, so I'm not a total nerd. I am in the basement though.
Well, I'll be just like you soon because that's where all my comic books are going. I bought this
Nice.
house so I would have a basement. I could
Oh,
put all the comic books in.
that is good planning. And
I need
you
more
might want
space
to
for
leave that wall
statues.
like that. That wall looks cool like that. That's an expressionistic painting. There you are, right there.
Yeah, there you
It goes
go.
with everything you wear.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Um, Jess will see the movie eating a Wonder Woman cereal. Is there a Wonder Woman
I
cereal?
don't
I
know,
would
but
eat
if
that.
there is, I would get a box.
I know there's Wonder Woman ice cream.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, it wasn't very good. But
Oh.
yeah, there's like I think they still have it, but DC did a thing in the past year. There's like a Batman ice cream and a Wonder Woman ice cream and a
Oh.
Superman ice cream. But
Oh, they'll probably just take a box of Wheaties or something and slap Wonder Woman on it. I mean, I want like a WW as the cereal piece
yeah,
that I'm eating.
I
I
agree.
would definitely get that cereal.
I mean, I'll buy anything with you, put Wonder Woman on it. It doesn't take much. I'm all about themed foods. Ooh, I should do that. We should, man, I wonder if there's a way for us to do like a watch party, like Near Mint and Omni Bros and stuff, to do a
For
watch
Wonder
party.
Woman,
Yeah.
um, I'm I would love. I can't wait to watch it. So I got
That'd
to
be
get.
cool.
I don't. I'm gonna have to figure out how I can get that expense uh, past upper level management because she'll notice that we have an extra cable channel. She doesn't notice
Well,
much, but she'll notice that.
there's a lot of shows on there. What is she like? I can
Uh,
try. I've watched a ton of shows on there. I can tell. I can
oh,
already
really?
recommend shows. Yeah.
Um, she
I
likes.
watch normal TV, so
She, there's an awful lot of stuff she doesn't like. It's hard for us to find a show we like together. She doesn't like a lot of stuff is too dark for her that I
yeah.
like the detective show Luther. I like that, but that's
Oh,
too
I
dark
love
for her.
Luther.
Yeah, but that's too dark for her. She likes. We're watching Schitt's Creek, and she loves that. Have you watched that?
I've
That's funny.
started it.
That's
It's
funny as heck.
it's been on my list of quarantine shows to
Yeah.
binge.
Um, uh, we liked The Good Place.
Oh, I
That
love
was
The
a good.
Good Place.
Yeah, that's a good show. Anne with an E, which I get made fun of all the time.
I love Anne with an E. So does Omar. We
Yeah,
all love Anne with an E.
yeah. Taylor Brown gives me multiple buckets of grief for
He
liking Anne
can
with
get
an E.
over it. That show's great. It could be a graphic novel, honestly. First,
Yeah.
second, put together Anne with an E graphic novel. It would do very well.
Um, we like.
Like,
So I think Schitt's Creek, the great place. We're gonna. I think we're gonna start watching Schitt's Creek as soon as we're done. We just have a couple episodes left of Anne with an E, and then we're gonna go really hard into Schitt's Creek.
good.
I totally dig the two kids in that show. They are so funny. The brother and
Yeah,
sister.
I've watched the first season and I dig it. That'll probably be the next thing. What did we just watch? We watched Queen's Gambit last week, and that was really good.
Is that a movie?
It's a show on Netflix. It's about this like chess prodigy. She's from Lexington, Kentucky,
Oh,
which is great. So they name places that I have been. So I'm like, oh, that's cool.
that is cool.
It's little things.
If you come up with any shows that I could watch on HBO Max that you watched and that Elliot liked too, that would probably help.
I'll come up with a list. I got you.
Okay.
I'll help you out.
You have from now till Christmas Day.
I can do that. No problem. Sexy chest woman. No, China Stuck. Normally that would be something. That would be if that was the name of a show, I'm sure Jess and I would both like it. Because again, we have similar tastes.
That is what brought us together. Our love of, I think Maddie called them sexy muscle women.
Yeah. Yeah, anytime there's a figure or something, I'll message Jess and be like, did you see?
Saw that too.
Like, are you gonna buy it?
It's so
I'm
cool.
still so sad that I had to cancel the Aloy statue.
I am so sad too. I
Ugh.
really wanted you to get that. That is going to be such an awesome figure.
I know. We'll see. I mean, those things won't ship for until like, I don't know, 2 years from now, probably. So I've got time if I change my mind.
Yeah. I mean, that's in a year I'm going to be getting the PS5 so I can play Horizon Zero Dawn Part 2. So
Same.
with my daughter, who ended up being way better at it than I did. She used to give me the battle.
Once the trade comes out, we should do a show on that. Your daughter should join. I don't know if she likes this kind of stuff, but the Horizon Zero Dawn comic is out.
Oh. We could do that. She doesn't have to be here. That'd be perfect because she's worried about bringing COVID into the house. So I don't even know if we're seeing her for Thanksgiving, but that's a good idea.
I'll put on the whole cosplay even.
That'd be awesome. Oh, she'll be into it. When is that trade coming out? Do you know, or has it just started coming out? The issues.
This month or next month, I think.
Oh.
Because the issues, I have like 3 of them, but the issues started coming out a few months ago. I think I need to check the release date, but I feel like it was coming out sooner than I thought it was. I'll double check.
She likes, she did read Darth Vader by Kieran Gillen and liked that, but that's really been the only comic book I've been able to get her to read besides anything with Adam Driver on it.
Yeah.
She likes Adam Driver.
See, I feel like I need to meet her because I feel like we would be friends.
Oh,
so
no doubt.
We have to review Horizon Zero Dawn together, so I can meet her and she can be my friend too.
I think you're just about the same age.
Yeah.
I think so.
I like her taste in video games, so
she loved Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, she bought her own PS4 just so she could keep replaying it.
Good.
But then she got sidetracked into the Nintendo Switch with Animal Crossing.
Right. All right, it's 8:01. I want to make sure that we end around here because I don't want to get into manga show and Omni Bros time. But thank you, Jess, so much for joining. And I'm probably gonna message you again next month because we're looking to have some guests on. So
this is great. Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it.
Thank you everybody for watching. We'll be back. I'll be back on Tuesday with Critical Role. So that's what we're doing next week. What's my usual spiel? I'm very tired from doing house stuff. I don't know if you can tell, but I hope you like this video. Comment down below if you're catching this later. Tell me what you thought about Gail Simone's Wonder Woman or about whatever else we talked about. Subscribe, please, if you like us and want to see some more videos. Hit that notification button. What else YouTube people say? I don't know. Anyways, I hope you all
on OmniDogs Vault on YouTube.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jess.
And OmniDogs_Vault on Instagram.
Thank you. I did a bad job hosting to say
you left me space for it. It was perfect.
Okay, good. All right. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you soon.